Hello, yes, and welcome to another episode of MLS Ireland. Well, I'll be bringing to you my predictions for week 20. I believe we're into now. You know, we're getting close to the MLS Cup, so stay tuned. Perfect, thank you very much for joining me. Yes, my name is Sean, and if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, because sure, why not? And hit that wee bell too, apparently, because then you get notifications that I've done this. So I think that's how it works. I'll have to Google that. But anyway, yes, these are my predictions, and yes, it is week 20. I think we're about a month away before the whole thing. Well, less than a month away before the whole thing gives away. I think the MLS Cup's in the start of December, so we're not too far away from that. We're like 1 week away from Halloween, so we're getting there. We're near the end of the Supporter Shield, which doesn't exist anymore for this season, which is very surprising. Was going to do a video about that, but sure, why? But anyway, these are weird times, and I don't think their teams now are going to be more into. I think the teams now who are they're just playing for spots basically now at the moment. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of what the whole Supporter Shield is, if it's a whole pile of crap or whatever, or even if you're even interested in MLS, or you're only here just for basically, you know, those things. You know, anyway, the results. So yes, there are 13 games on. God love me when the new teams start filtering into the whole competition, because there's going to be a hell of a lot more for me to do. So we may as well kick on the first game this week, weekday or whatever it is. It's going to be Portland at Seattle. Now, Portland, as you can see here, are probably the favourites to win this game, which, when you come into form, I don't really think there's really too much to put against these two when they are not in bad form at the moment. So, like, Portland are second in the top, in the last 8. Portland are second, whereas Seattle are 4th, which isn't too bad between the two. As you see, Seattle's probably favourites, where I think Portland may have a better game at this. So that's probably why I'm going to go for like a 1-1 draw. I think Portland's probably more suited to this game, more than what Seattle are. But as again, it's Cascadia Cup kind of game, so this game could really go anywhere. So I'm going to go for like a 1-1 draw on that one. The next one is Nashville playing New England Revolution. Nashville, sorry, but last night I did think DC and FC Dallas would probably 1-0. I kind of got that one wrong. He's played very well, and now you're having to play again against New England Revolution, which is on Saturday. It's Friday night, so you don't really have much preparation for this game. But you're coming into this game under good circumstances. You are in this form league. Nashville. Where's Nashville? Nashville's 12th, which is pretty good, whereas New England are 6th. For a bit of New England. Who did New England play last? I can't remember. They got beat by Philadelphia 2-1, and then they beat Montreal and New York City away from home. So they're coming into this game actually probably better form away, whereas Nashville are pretty good form at home. As you can see, all that doesn't really say much. If you bet on any of them, you'll probably get a good odd regardless on what you do. So I'm going to say that's going to be another probably possible draw. I'm going to go for like a 0-0. I don't think these two teams are very good defensively, and I think they may just cancel each other out in this one, so I'm going to go for like a 0-0. It's just probably safer for me, as it were. The next one is Inter Miami against Orlando, so a Florida derby. Inter Miami actually could possibly get a good result in this, whereas Orlando now basically not giving up, but they've got their playoff for the first time. Congratulations to them. Even if you follow me on Twitter, you'd see that I make not fun of them, but you know what I mean. So they're coming up against Inter Miami, who are starting to show their form, but now Higuain is suspended for quite a while. This game could be completely different, but I'm going to go for an Orlando win. I think they're just probably in a better shape and form than Inter, and Inter are without their best player. Debatable. So, you know, Brek Shea still playing. So yeah, I'll go for Orlando winning this one. I might go for like a 2-1 win to Orlando. I think Inter Miami may get a good goal in this, but I think Orlando will probably just the better team and win it 2-1. The next one is Atlanta against DC United. You know, Atlanta are starting slowly to find their feet. They're not playing any DPs, so which is weird at the moment, where DC United couldn't win a game for their livelihoods and then won against a team who I would have expected them to get beat by, which was Cincinnati. They beat Cincinnati, which is quite surprising, but fair play to them. So yeah, this is going to be a weird one. I think Atlanta should win this one against DC United. I don't know what's wrong with them. They got beat by Toronto, drew Inter, and got beat by New York Red Bull, got beat by Orlando, and then beat DC United the last time they played in DC. So I think they should win this one. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Atlanta. Don't think DC United really have it in them to kick on from the good result against Cincinnati, even though that was a goalkeeper's mistake. But anyway, we'll gloss over that because it's, you know, fun. The next one is Chicago Fire against New York Red Bulls. Chicago Fire are probably surprisingly the weirder team in this. Chicago Fire are like in the form table of 8 matches. They're like 10th, whereas New York Red Bull are 14th, which is not particularly great. But the two teams are kind of a point off in the points, kind of, so they're not too far off. Whereas, let's see, Chicago Fire, they drew their last game. That was against Sporting KC, and New York Red Bulls drew their last game, which was Orlando. So coming into this, on the last 8 points from all games, they're average. I think New York Red Bulls are probably the better shaped form. You know, that's a new word. So it is interesting. Whereas Chicago Fire are probably a bit more of the favourites here. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Chicago. This game may surprise a few people. I think Chicago Fire is just kind of up for bigger games. But saying that, New York Red Bulls aren't really showing me that they can win games on a consistent basis, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Chicago. Next one is FC Cincinnati against Minnesota. I like Minnesota this season. They're not doing great in the last 8 games there, unfortunately, but they're not too bad up in the league. In the Supporter Shield, it's not working. They're coming up against a Cincinnati team who are second bottom. Beat Columbus, surprisingly, but then got beat by everybody else. So Minnesota probably away from home, coming up against Cincinnati. Minnesota doesn't really say much as the odds again, because this is all on a betting app that really doesn't know much about MLS. So I'm going to go for, on this game, I'm going to go for Minnesota 2-1 win. 2-0 win, sorry. I'll go for a 2-0 win. Just Minnesota are probably the better team, and Cincinnati are it's just a write-off season. They're just basically getting their act together. The next one is New York City against Montreal. I think New York City are probably the favourites, probably going into this one, even though that they're annoying kind of at the moment. They got beat by Columbus, drew against Orlando, and then got beat by New England. So their results are not really consistent enough at the moment, and they're coming against a Montreal team who I don't think they played too long ago, but all these teams haven't really played a lot. Played each other a lot. Anyway, Montreal beat Inter Miami, so they're coming into this game probably on a better run of form. So I might go be interested in this one. New York City are like 13th, as well as where's Montreal. Montreal, where are you? 22nd. New York City could win this one. They're our favourites, so I'll go for this one. I'll go for like a 2-0 win for New York City. Again, this is MLS. Anything can happen. Montreal could win fucking 5-0. This is MLS. So anyway, next one is Philadelphia again against Toronto again. This game was basically a battle off the top, where the last time Philadelphia at the start of the month in Toronto got beat by Toronto, and now Toronto's now coming to Philadelphia, who are, I think Toronto look like the favourites. Yeah, it's a give and go one. I think Philadelphia probably should win this game. They're probably in a better run of form. Well, similar actually. Toronto in the last 8 games are top, whereas Portland second, and then Philadelphia are third. So Toronto are coming into this game probably, as I said, Philadelphia were, but coming in better form. So saying that, I'm going to go for a Philadelphia win. I said this the last time, Philadelphia, and then they got beat, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Philadelphia. There's just something about Toronto at the moment. I don't seem to be all that impressed by them at the moment, whereas I'm more impressed by Philadelphia, even though they have younger players, whether or not as consistent as enough. But I think they have, in a bigger game, have it in them. That's what I'm thinking. And then the next one is Houston Dynamo against Columbus Crew. Houston Dynamo, I've been saying they're going to lose every single game, which, you know, to their credit, they have. And they're coming up against Columbus Crew team who have been awful. But the last game they beat New York City FC, but they got beat by Cincinnati, which says a lot. And they're coming up against the Houston Dynamo team who are 24th in the overall kind of form in the last 8 games, so they're not coming into this game as they should, but I think they're going to get a good result in this one. I do think Columbus Crew are probably the better team, should get a better result in this as they did before, but I'm going to go for like a 2-1 win to Columbus Crew. I think Houston may get a goal in this one, but I think Columbus Crew should really wrap this one up, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 on that one. Real Salt Lake against FC Dallas. Real Salt Lake should probably win this one. They're 21st in the form, yet, you know, the can't crack. And then they're coming up against the FC Dallas team who are, you know, annoyed me. But anyway, I don't hold grudges, so I'm going to go for a Real Salt Lake win. I'm going to go for like a 1-0 win for Real Salt Lake. They are the favourites, as you can tell, so I'm going to go for like a 1-0 win. And the next one is Vancouver against San Jose. This is, you know, San Jose are strange this season. They played Vancouver the last time and won 3-0, so I'm going to go for something around the similar, not too dissimilar, sorry I said. So I'm going to go for like a Vancouver, I'm going to go for a San Jose 1-0 win. Vancouver could possibly win this game at home because, you know, it's MLS. And Vancouver, was they won their last game? No, they won. They got beat by LA Galaxy, beat LAFC, beat Real Salt Lake at home. So it is going to be a tricky one for San Jose Earthquakes. Actually, you know what? I'll go for a 1-1. I'll go for a 1-1 draw on that one. And then the last one is LAFC against LA Galaxy. This one game's actually going to be on. We're going to get to watch it here. Yay! It's going to be on like 7:30, which is an 8 o'clock game basically, so I'm looking forward to that one. LAFC probably are the favourites coming into this. LA Galaxy finally won a game last week or during the week, whatever it was, against Vancouver, but then they got stuffed by everybody else. So I do think LAFC probably coming into this game should have a better game off it. LAFC are still not really impressing me that much, but I do think they're going to win this game, so I'm going for like a 2-0 win to LAFC. Just Real Salt Lake just means Real Salt Lake. LA Galaxy just aren't impressing me at the moment, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to LAFC. So as I said, these are my predictions. If you like them, hit the subscribe button, hit the wee bell, whatever the hell it is. Let me know what you think, and I hope to see you on the next one. Toodles, bye.